Hello children, welcome back to the digital class of Pramathi Hilva Academy. I am Rakesh. In the previous class we have discussed about Union Legislature. India has adopted the parliamentary system of government and the Union Legislature is called the Parliament. Article 79 provides for the creation of Parliament. The Parliament consists of two houses. The upper house is called Rajya Sabha and the lower house is called Lok Sabha. In this session, we are going to learn about the Union Executive consists of the President, Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. President. Article 52 of our Indian Constitution has created the post of the President. The Indian President is the constitutional head of the country, is the first citizen, the head of the executive and also the commander-in-chief of all the three armed forces, which means Army, Navy and Air Force. He enjoys the highest position in the country as he is the custodian of all executive powers of the nation. No court of law can question his conduct or prosecute him or challenge the decision of the President. Election of the President. Articles 54 and 55 of the Constitution describe the election process of the President. The President is elected by an electoral college of elected members of both houses of parliament, all elected members of the legislative assemblies of all the states. The Supreme Court judge administrators vote for the president and for the office of 5 years. President is eligible for re-election. Whenever president goes against the constitution, can be removed from office by the parliament through a motion of impeachment. Qualifications: should be a citizen of India, should have completed the age of 35 years, should be qualified for election as a member of the Lok Sabha, should not hold any office of profit under the government. Powers of the President. Executive powers. All administration is carried out in the name of the President. The President appoints the Prime Minister on his recommendation, appoints the other ministers. The President has the power to appoint persons to high posts like Attorney General, Auditor General, judges of Supreme Court and High Courts, governors, chairman and members of Finance Commission, chairman and members of the Union Public Service Commission, election commissioners, commanders-in-chief to the three armed forces and the ambassadors to different countries. Legislative powers. The President has the power to commence the Parliament or postpone its sessions. May also address a joint sitting of both the houses or dissolve the Lok Sabha. A bill passed by both the houses becomes an act only after it receives the approval of the President. The President may either re-examine such bills, return them or withhold them for some time. The President nominates 2 Anglo-Indians to the Lok Sabha and 12 members to the Rajya Sabha. In all these functions, President acts upon the recommendations of the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. Judicial powers. The President has the power to reduce the term of imprisonment of criminals and to cancel the capital punishment. President can approach the Supreme Court for suggestions with reference to legal matters of the country. Financial powers. A finance bill cannot be introduced in the Lok Sabha without the permission of the President. It is only after the President grants permission that the reports of the Finance Commission and Auditor General are discussed in Parliament. Military powers. The President is the Commander-in-Chief of Armed Force, appoints the Chief of the Army, Navy and Air Force on the recommendation of the Union Cabinet. President also declares war and peace on the recommendation of the Parliament. Emergency powers. The President has the powers to declare emergency in an unnatural situation. This is explained from Article 352 to Article 360 under 18th part of the Constitution. This concept is borrowed from the Government Act of 1935. The effects of emergency on the fundamental rights and their management is borrowed from the Constitution of Germany. Based on the written recommendation of the Union Cabinet, the President can declare the emergency on 3 occasions. National emergency, Article 352. State emergency, Article 356. Financial emergency, Article 360. national emergency. When there is a threat to the security of any area in the country or the whole nation, the president may declare national emergency in the country. For this, both houses should be approved. For example, in India, 3 times the national emergency has been declared in the year of 1962, 1971 and 1975. State emergency. Based on the report of the governor of a state, or if the state government for any reason cannot function according to the principles of the constitution, the president can declare emergency under Article 356. For example, in Karnataka, state emergency is declared for 6 times in total till now. Financial emergency. This kind of emergency can be declared if it is felt that the financial situation in the country has totally collapsed. However, it has not been declared till now. The other important powers. The president can exercise certain powers without waiting for approval of the Union Cabinet. They are: President may invite the leader of any party to form the government when no single party has got a majority after an election. When the parliament approves a bill and sent for the final approval, the president may accept or may not accept, or even can be sent for reconsideration. President can dissolve the Lok Sabha. Prime Minister. The Constitution has provided for a Council of Ministers with the Prime Minister, its head, to assist and advise the President in the administration of the country. Still, it is the Prime Minister who has the real power to carry out the administration. The President is the head of the country, whereas the Prime Minister is the head of the government. Prime Minister can remain in office as long as the Lok Sabha trusts on the Prime Minister. Powers of the Prime Minister. Appointment and removal of ministers and allocation of portfolios. The Prime Minister recommends to the President the appointment of Council of Ministers. He also allocates the various portfolios among the ministers. His decision is final in the allocation of portfolios. Head of the government. The Prime Minister is responsible for all actions of the government, coordinates the activities of the various ministers, takes greater interest in framing policies related to planning, defense and foreign affairs. Head of the Union Cabinet. The meeting of the Union Cabinet are held under the chairmanship of the Prime Minister. All decisions of issues of national and international importance are discussed and decisions are taken under the leadership of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister is the link between the President and the Cabinet. Union Cabinet. The Union Cabinet is a real executive and has ministers in two hierarchies. The first one is the cabinet level and the second one is the ministers of state. The maximum strength of the Union Cabinet is 15% of the total strength of the Parliament. Currently, the total strength of present cabinet ministers is 58, which includes 24 cabinet ministers, 29 ministers of state and 9 ministers of their independent charges. The cabinet has two kinds of responsibilities. The minister of every department is responsible for the administration for the department, has individual responsibility for the success or failure of the department. The Union Cabinet has collective responsibility of the Parliament with regard to the decisions and policies taken by it. Therefore, the Cabinet can be power only as long it enjoys the trust of the Parliament. When it loses the trust, it is removed by a no confidence motion, which means the Prime Minister should show the total strength of his cabinet ministers. A majority of the Lok Sabha members lose their confidence and withdraw support to the Prime Minister and his cabinet. The Prime Minister as well as his cabinet ministers will have to resign. The same format is applied for both central and state governments. Till now, around 34 no confidence motions have been passed in the Indian Parliament. So children, let us recall what we have learned today. In this session, we have discussed about the Union Executive consists of the President, Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. In the next session, we are going to understand about the judicial system, which means the structure and functions of Supreme Court of India, High Court and the subordinate courts. So see you soon. Have a great day. Thank you.